I've sat down to film this so many times, but the words always felt too heavy to carry. I think for a long time, I was trying to wait until I was completely healed to show up here. I wanted to come back with a neat, finished story and a bright smile. But life isn't a curated gallery, it's messy. And lately, I've been navigating a season that felt less like living and more just like treading water. A few years ago, I went through something that can only describe as a total collapse of my world. I'm still not at a place where I can share every detail. Some things need to stay private, but it was a huge trauma to me. And for the first time, my hands felt too heavy to pick up a marker. I looked at the profitable art I was making for the algorithm, and it felt like I was painting with a gray ash. It had no soul left. When you're in a place that dark, you lose the ability to see anyone else. You become so consumed by your own pain that the world outside your room feels like a distant, blurry memory. I was so depressed that I didn't have the energy to reach out, to ask for help, or to even look anyone in the eye. I had completely closed the curtains of my life. I didn't really ask for help. I didn't have anything to give return. I wasn't being a good friend or a productive person. I was just a shadow. But my counselor, she saw the state I was in. She didn't wait for me to book an appointment or ask for a discount. And then she did something that felt like a radical act of love. She saw me 5 days a week, every single weekday, and she did it entirely for free. She just wanted me to make sure I was still breathing. She held a space for me that I couldn't even hold for myself. And it wasn't just her, my friends, they just showed up. Every single day, someone was there. They brought their presence into my silence, not because I was profitable or fun to be around, but simply because I existed. It was a strange, overwhelming realization. I had always believed that to be loved, I had to be something. I had to be successful. I had to be pretty. I had to be an artist who produces work. But there I was, at my absolute zero, giving nothing, doing nothing, and yet people gave me true kindness. I was so used to a world where everything is a transaction, where you give something to get something. But that season taught me that the most beautiful things in our life are the ones we don't earn. I've been drawing for as long as I can remember. It's always been my language, my way of processing the world. But during that season, when everything felt so heavy and gray, the language felt broken. I remember sitting in the silence of my room, staring at my iPad, and finally asking myself the question I've been avoiding for years. When I'm living this life, and when I'm moving my pen across the screen, what is the value I actually want to leave behind? I looked back at the years I spent chasing trends. I thought about the times that I made art just because I thought it was profitable or because I wanted to prove I was successful. But in the moment of rock bottom, none of those achievements could hold me. They were just numbers. They didn't have a heartbeat. And then I thought about them. I thought about the counselor who met me every day for free. I thought about the friends who showed up without a word. I thought about that specific kind of unfiltered kindness. The kind that doesn't expect a return on investment. I realized that the most valuable thing I had ever received wasn't money or fame. It was that true kindness that I received. I'm well aware that the art I create now, these cozy, quiet scenes, isn't the trendiest thing out there. It's not the art that's going to break the algorithm or become the most profitable product in the world. There are faster styles, flashier colors, and more sellable aesthetics. I know that, but I made a choice. I decided if I'm gonna spend my life creating and drawing, I want my art to feel like a warm hug. I want it to be a place where someone who is having their own worst day could look at the drawing and feel, even for a second, that they're being held. It's not about being the best, it's about being kind. It's about taking that radical kindness I've received and translating into pixels and colors so that I can pass it on to you. Because if a drawing can act as a safe place for just one person, that is more valuable than any other profitable piece I've ever made. So the drawing is getting finished. I don't know if this is a good painting. Honestly, I'm not sure that's the right question to ask anymore. When I was in that dark period, I wasn't thinking about whether my art was good. I wasn't thinking about growth or audience or what kind of content would perform. I was just trying to get through the day. And the things that actually helped me do that weren't strategies. It wasn't system too. They were people. A friend who texted at the right moment. Someone who sat with me without needing me to explain everything. It was just presence. Quiet, steady presence. That sounds so simple when I say it out loud, but I think simple things are the ones that actually hold us together. I spent a long time asking myself what I was doing this for. Why draw? Why make anything? And there's a version of that question that leads you towards metrics and monetization and building something sustainable. And I get it. I really do. We live in a world. Things cost money, and it really matters. But there's another version of that question. The one that asks, what do you actually want to put in the world? Not what's trending or get the most clicks. What do you want someone to feel when they find your work on a random Tuesday afternoon when they're not doing great? For me, the answer was always the same thing. I want them to feel like someone's there, like they stumbled into a warm room they didn't even know they needed, like they can just exhale. When I was in that dark period, when everything felt like it had been pulled out from under me, that's what this is to me. Not a product, not content. This is where my art comes from. That period, as painful as it was, it showed me something that I couldn't have learned any other way. That warmth is real, that it matters, that it actually moves people through impossible things. And I thought, that's what I want to make. Not art that impresses, not art that performs. Art that feels like someone put their hand on your shoulder and saying that, hey, I got you. A warm hug in the form of a painting. And that's my whole goal. That's always been my goal. And honestly, I don't think I would have found that without going through what I went through. The darkness showed me what kind of light I wanted to make. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. This is what we do in this space. We draw slowly, we think out loud, we don't rush toward the point, and we try to make something that feels human. Not perfect, not optimized, just real and warm and honest. If you're going through something right now, or if you're just tired in that way that's hard to name, I hope this gave you a few minutes of quiet. I hope it felt even a little bit like the warm room. You don't have to figure out everything. You don't have to be productive today. You don't have to be anything actually. You can just be here. And that's completely okay with me. And I'll keep trying making these, slowly and honestly. And I hope you'll stick around. Stay soft, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!